It feels very good. We can all relate to that. It feels very good to release and just be finished with the project. But you might also have this uncertainty of what you're going to do next. It's very easy to just continue updating the game after you have released it because you think, okay, this would be fun to add. And it feels very familiar to you to work on this game that you released. This is something when I released my third game, like my first mobile game. I was always like thinking of like updates to do, adding things into the backlog when I released the game. So like, okay, when I'm done with this, I'm going to update the game, like post this update, add like leaderboards, whatever it might be. There was a lot of different things. I had one update, which was like to fix an essential crash. But other than that, I didn't have any updates and I had to like force myself to not update the game because I know it wouldn't like give me any benefit to do so. It would benefit me much more to just start over on my new project. Then the problem was like, what do I work on? I don't know what to work on. So you kind of have to force yourself to just move on, start a new project, and just realize that would probably, as a beginner, when you release like your first or second game, just moving on onto a new project is going to be much more beneficial for you than to just continue updating this old game. So with that being said, how do you actually come up with new game ideas? Well, I have like a few different ways of getting new game ideas that I'm going to share with you. The first one is just to think yourself, just have a pen and paper, sit here on the desk, scratch your head, and figure out what you want to work on, right? That's like the first thing you can do to get game ideas, the old school one. The second is going to be to use AI. This is what I use. I think AI is awesome for game ideas. I've not used like specific AI models, I've just used ChatGPT, and I think ChatGPT is very good for getting game ideas. What you can also do is that you can just remix other games. So if you're a beginner, like you probably don't have like the skill to do like so many new different things. So it would make sense for you to just remix another game if you want to and you're not that creative. Or you might have like a small mobile game that you want to remix, or like even a bigger one, but you take inspiration and you like scope it down into a realistic project. That can also be something. My news game, for example, that's inspired by Portal. I used AR for it, but it's also inspired by Portal, the game. And yeah, I think obviously taking inspiration from other games, there's no problem with that. Also, the last thing is that you can use, if you are a member inside of Smart Indie, you can also use the Smart Indie idea generator. It's going to give you the genre, it's going to give you like the theme, the 3 prototypes to make for the game. It's going to give you like the name of the game, like the dimensions, like what to do, core systems. It's going to give you like the games that you want to make in the future, like how the ideas are relevant to that. So if you want to check out Smart Indie and have access to that, it's the first link in the description for the idea generator. I think it's awesome. So that's how I find game ideas. But moving on, when you actually find a game idea, you might think, okay, yeah, this is awesome. This would be so fun. But it might not actually be that fun. You don't know that before you made a prototype. So that's what you need to do. You need to prototype the game before you commit. And this is so important, I promise. If I didn't know this, I would spend so many months probably on working on like useless projects that aren't even fun. You need to prototype the game before you commit. Don't like commit to anything before you prototype the game. The core mechanic, you just spend like a few days on it. You can actually see that it's fun. So I have these 3 questions that I want to ask myself when I make prototypes. That's going to be the first one is the core loop fun? That's it. Is the game fun? I made a prototype like recently, which was like, it was called Echo Gate, I called it. I got a little bit more advanced with the project than I would like to, because I didn't quite realize that the core loop wasn't fixable, because it wasn't fun. Didn't realize that immediately, and I spent like quite some time on making the game, like the map and all these things. And when I just asked myself like, is the core loop fun? No, it's not fun, and it's also not fixable. So that's when I realized I just scrapped the project after like a few like weeks of like part-time work. Just scrapped the project. Now I put it on my next one, which is like the Portal inspired one that I told you, which I'm working on right now. And that's so much fun to both work on and also to play. I think those are very correlated. Like Echo Gate, like the game I put up before and scrapped, wasn't fun to play, and in turn it wasn't fun to develop, because yeah, I think it has like some correlation as well. So just an interesting side note. But the second question I asked myself to determine like if, obviously the first one is a most important one, but the second one you can ask yourself to figure out like if you should commit to an idea after you made a prototype is, will this be difficult for me to make? The answer is yes, it would probably be too difficult and I'm not sure I would actually be able to finish it. Then you shouldn't do the idea, right? Most likely you can try to underscope or like downscope the idea try to just remove some things. But in a lot of cases, like the core loop kind of requires you to add a lot of things. Like for example, if you're making more complex idea, like a 3D survival game, you can just remove a lot of things and still have the game be fun. And like a survival game or like an open world game, whatever it might be. So the second, is this too difficult for me? The third one is, would it take me more than 30 to 90 days? And that's what I recommend when you are a beginner, you're making your first project. Don't spend more than like 90 minutes max on a game. Like what I recommend inside of Smartini is just 60 days. But 30 days, that's also fine if you have a little bit more time especially, or you just want to make a quick mobile game. Then you can definitely just spend 30 days. But 90, that's like the max. And not as your first game, but like when you are more advanced, like your second, third game, that's when you can actually like take up the time. But preferably even when you are intermediate, and I don't think you should spend more than like 90 days on a game. So don't spend like in total more than 6 to maybe 10 hours max on the prototype. This should not be a game, it should just be a prototype, so that you can as quickly as possible just evaluate these different things. Is it fun? Is it too difficult? And is it actually realistic for me to finish in 90 days or less? It should just be like an evaluation of these. When you can evaluate this like correctly, that's when you should stop the development of the prototype and then figure out if you should actually commit to the idea. And also just plan it minimally. Don't spend a lot of time on planning the prototype when you're making it. But when you are actually making the game itself, or like if you're going to plan it like lightly, you can use the Trello template, which is the second link in the description. It's completely for free. I'm not asking you for anything. I'll just send it to you on email. So you can check that out if you want to. It's very good if you want to plan your game. It's very like nice and organized. So if you are a game developer, you want to release your first game, or just plan in general, then you can check it out. The game that I'm making right now, there was a ton of like green flags. I love the game I'm working on right now. I won't spoil like too much, but I'm going to give you like the green flags that you can look for when you are having game ideas and making this prototype, for when you should actually 100% know that you should commit to the game. So the current one that I'm making right now, the hugest like biggest green flag is that it was fun to develop and play since day one. I could make like the player movement and the symbol map, and I had a lot of fun both like making it and also to play the game, like just moving around. It just felt very fun. And with this prototype that I scrapped, Echo Gate, it wasn't fun like from day one or like day 5 or whatever. It was never fun really to develop or play. So that's like a huge red flag, obviously. Also, I love the idea and the vision of the game that I'm working on right now. I just love the potential the game has. I'm thinking this is going to be a Steam game. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking this can be a Steam game, and it could be like awesome when I expand it and make it bigger. It's also quite easy to finish and easy to make, because it's not like some super unique complex like systems. It's just like different things, right? Just different features, different things that you need to make, like nothing more than like the average game, right? It's easy to make, and it's also unique, because I won't spoil it, but it's also unique. So when you just find a game idea like that, it has so many green flags when you're developing the game, like in its early stages. Definitely commit to that idea, because good ideas, especially if you're less creative like me, they're not abundant. So you need to kind of like pick out and figure out the game ideas that you enjoy both making and you think are fun. If you have a good idea, it's very easy for you to just overscope the game, like, oh, I'm going to add like these 1,000 features. Don't do that, please. Make the game and also finish it. Like, finishing is your #1 priority, not to make the game as huge as possible, because a lot of games, they just are really good ideas, but they are overscoped and the developer just loses motivation, so they're not going to finish it. So that's what I'm telling you. Don't overscope the game. And yeah, I think that's everything for this video. If you want to check out Smartini and just make the process 10 times easier, it's the first link in the description. Either way, thank you so much for watching this video.